BMRforum.com and BMRodds.com, boys. What is going on? Welcome back to Lobby, episode number 156. Moving right along here. As always, each and every week, Mr. Reload Sports. What's up, buddy?
Doing well here. Weather's good today, and gonna be got some plans this week. I'm gonna go see some minor league baseball for the first time in a while, so that's always fun. And during the game, I'm sure I'll be checking scores on everything else going on that weekend. So yeah, good time of year here. You know, mid-August. Always like it here.
Very nice. What team are you gonna go see?
This weekend, it's going to be a team called the Sussex Miners. They're up in northern New Jersey, Sussex County, close to they're real boonies, close to the border of New York State and Pennsylvania. So up in that corner of New Jersey there.
Very nice. And as always, Mr. Sam's in charge. What's up, buddy?
What's up, Bobby? Had a good week here. Went to the track twice. Netted like $10, but I'm not a huge horse racing guy, but it was fun. Went to the clubhouse one time, went all bougie, dressed up, sat in the nice seats, paid the $15 beer, had them swivel the iPad for doing nothing. No thanks on the tip, no tip for you. And then on Sunday, I also golfed, so I had a good day on Sunday. Golfed in the morning, track in the afternoon. I'm gonna plug myself. I'm not really a plugger, but it's my birthday tomorrow. So nice. I turn 36 years old tomorrow. So that'll be cool. I am working, but then hanging out with my buddies at night, grabbing dinner, grabbing some drinks, just like I normally do. I got a good group of friends up in my area. And then like Reload said, got a great day of sports. I got some tennis action, baseball action, preseason football. I got my first fantasy football draft this coming Sunday, then the following Sunday, then the following Monday. So we're getting right into the thick of things. We're less than a month away from NFL, less than 2 weeks away from college. The Prem League soccer comes back this week. So the World Cup was the best thing to happen to sports fans over the summer because we got 6 weeks of soccer. It filled that June, July void. Now we only had a couple weeks of non-sports, and now we're right back into the heart of all sports. It's going to be great. Great time of the year.
Very, very nice. Happy to hear that. Oh,
Bobby, what's all going on with your weight loss update? We're hit 228, I see.
Yes, 228.2 as of this morning, 228.2. So definitely trending down in the right direction. As somebody made evident in my weight loss thread, unfortunately, the holidays are coming. So, you always tend to overeat on the holidays.
That's 3 months away.
It doesn't matter, though. It doesn't matter. The holidays are still coming. They're coming quick, and they're coming
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't do that. I'm surprised you didn't hit me with one of those.
Yeah, no, the holidays are coming really quickly. And, I also posted that I'm going on a cruise. I booked another cruise in early November. So very, very excited for that. With all that being said, the cruise, the holidays, unfortunately, that's probably going to cause me to gain some weight. But hopefully by that time, a couple pounds here, a couple pounds there aren't going to make too big of a difference.
Yeah, I mean, if you're down to like 220, then you get back up to 225, 228. That's no big deal. Hey, let me ask you, if you lost about 20 pounds, have you noticed the belt notch? Did you have to go up one?
Yes, I did actually.
There you go. That's a good thing.
Good. Funny enough, you said that. Yes, I did have to go up one. So definitely losing weight.
Good.
So Reload, let me jump over to you. Let's talk some baseball, buddy. What do you got?
Yeah, baseball. Well, we're in the middle of August, and I went with a couple National League games here. I zeroed in on one of them I like the most, and that is the Cincinnati Reds plus 106 as a home dog tonight against the St. Louis Cardinals. They split the first two games of this series. The Reds edged out the Cardinals last night 6-5. They ended a 3-game losing streak, so some good momentum there. And the same two pitchers tonight started against each other last month. The Reds won that game in St. Louis. It was another close one. It took extras. and they were plus odds there. They're plus odds here again. Even if the game's a one-run coin flip kind of thing, you got to go with the plus odds. So tonight it's Cincinnati Reds for me, plus 106.
All righty, Reload. Thank you. Sammy, over to you. Let's talk some baseball. What do you got on the diamond?
I was just looking at the standings right now. It looks like the Yankees in Boston are still looking good in the wild card, and they got a big old lead on Baltimore. The AL East is really dominating. Tampa, Yankees, Boston, Baltimore. You could have 4 teams out of the AL East that are doing well, so that's good. Obviously, the Dodgers are still steamrolling in the NL.
Right.
Actually, they're actually in second. Milwaukee Brewers are actually leading the league. Then you got the Dodgers in Atlanta. But the Dodgers, I mean, they're such a playoff team. They'll be ready to go. Their starting roster from top to bottom. They're starting pitchers from top to bottom. So they're definitely the team to beat. And I do like them tonight. I got them minus 185. I also like the Yankees. Of course, podcast day, you got to take the Yankees. That's the unwritten rule of Sammy betting his New York teams. And I also like the Cardinals, the Pirates, and Kansas City. Sammy Juice, Sammy Chalk, 229 and 188 on the year. So good record. Minus 342 because of all the juice that I take. There was a day last week I went like 0-5, minus 7 units. But still, I mean, I've played almost 400 plays, minus 3 units. So that's 4 months of entertainment basically for free. So we'll see how the last few weeks of the regular season goes. Unfortunately, from a fantasy baseball standpoint, I'm going to be eliminated. There's 2 more weeks of the regular season, and I am 3 games back. So mathematically, I am out. But I had 3 straight years where I was in the semifinals. Last year, I lost in second place. The year before, I was in third place. So, hey, I had a down year this year. What really killed me was my 2 keepers. I kept Crockett from Boston, who's been on the IL for like 3 months, and I kept Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who I still believe does not have a home run at home this season. He only has like 8 or 9 on the year. So really, really bad down year. Really, you should not keep anyone in fantasy baseball. Just start off fresh as I learned this year. So next year, I will not be keeping anyone. Well, there's no forced keeper. One of my fantasy football leagues, it is a 2-keeper forced league. In this baseball, it's not forced. I will release them and start off fresh next season.
All righty. And Sammy, real quick, in regards to your birthday, I meant to ask you, are you going to be going to the wing place this year?
Yeah, so that's a very common thing that we do.
I know, that's why I brought it up.
We got a bunch of buddies, and I got my brother's a June birthday. My 2 buddies are July birthdays. I'm an August birthday. Right. We always are going there. So I'm not going to do the wing thing, especially because I'm working. It would be a nice appetizer, 36 wings. That would definitely be an appetizer for the 8 to 10 people that we go with. But we're just going to order a cater platter and probably go to my parents' house because they got a bigger house than me. And we'll just kind of hang out there. That's what we did last year. I might pick up wings somewhere else. But yeah, the wing place we definitely take advantage of. But the summer is when a lot of our birthdays are. So sometimes you get kind of winged out.
All righty, Sammy. Thank you. Real quick, boys, let me touch on poker because poker is back. We had our first tournament this past Sunday. A big shout out to each and every one of you who participated. Had a really, really nice turnout for the poker. Total of 13 players, which is really, really nice to see. The more, the merrier. But our top 5 rounding out 5th place and cashing a Tournament of Champions ticket is Clyde, followed by Big Bill taking 4th place. 3rd is Headster X. Now the top 2 finishers, not only do they get that Tournament Champions entry ticket, they also get baller coins. So congratulations to the $ Banker for taking 2nd place and winning the first tournament of the Poker Series Event Series 10. And the man that will have a bounty on his head for next week is TT Warrior. Congratulations, TT. And hopefully you're watching out because the rest of the players will definitely be coming for you. And speaking of coming, Sammy, let me turn it over to you. Let's talk some tennis.
Speaking of TTs, Bobby. Oh, yeah. Tennis, yeah. So tennis, kind of having a bad couple weeks, Montreal, Toronto didn't do well, and starting off Cincinnati Open, a -1 unit over the last couple of days, but hoping to turn it around. I mean, we're still plus 36 units on the year, so nothing to, be negative about, but I was in the mid 50s. So, when you look at where you were to where you are, again, No one's gonna knock you for plus 36 units in a thread. Not many people can say that, but definitely down from plus mid 55s. So I got 10 picks today across Cincinnati Open joint WTA ATP. Matches started about 20 minutes ago, so it'll be all day action. So definitely enjoy that. I know me and Big J pretty much text all day, all night when it comes to a lot of the tennis picks. So I got 10 picks. We'll see what happens. I'm minus 1 unit for Cincinnati. I'm 2019 on the year. I'm 498 and 402. So still a great record plus 36 units.
All righty, awesome, Sammy. And while I got you over there, can we talk some NFL contests?
Oh yeah, NFL contests,
Yeah,
a free way to win real money. Got a couple contests coming your way, and all you need is a Just Bet account. So there is a little asterisk, but all you need is a Just Bet account. I think I have about 39 sportsbook accounts. I can't even name all of them. All I do is I click the link, I sign up, and it says, "Oh, you already have an account." I'm like, "Oh, great. Forgot password. We'll figure this out." But yeah, Just Bet account and you're in. You got 3 different contests. You got a prop contest. You got a against the spread survivor contest, which again, I've talked about every week. It's awesome. I would love an over under for how long it's going to last. I'm putting it in at 10.5. It's a strong over under against the spread survivor contest. And of course you got your pick 7 contest, pick 7 against the spread, rank them 1 through 7. So it's a 2-way contest. You got to pick winners and you got to pick them in confidence. I know Donnie loved that one. So free entries to win real money. What are you doing? Sign up, Just Bet account. Let BMR Bobby, let BMR Jeannie know your entry, and you are signed up. And also, if whatever your username is, make it your username for the contest. We don't want to be, it shouldn't be Sammy in charge, but I'm registered under Bobby FK. It should be Sammy in charge, registered under Sammy in charge, so that we know who you are.
Exactly. And that's a good point, Sam. Same with the poker guys. When you're signing up for the poker, please make sure you're using your actual username. Now, Sammy, you did miss a contest. We have our Splash Sports Confidence Pool Combo, sponsored by Bookmakers. Make sure you guys PM Jeannie or email Jeannie your bookmaker account information no later than the week 2 deadline of September 19th. So very similar to the NFL Confidence, this is going to be a combination of college and NFL. You'll assign those confidence picks from 1 to 7. So good luck on those. Reload, let me jump over to you, buddy. You got any WNBA for us?
Yeah, it's time for some WNBA triple penetration again. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
My favorite segment.
Yeah, we went 2-1 last week, another winning week, 3-0 the week before that. So we're pretty hot with this. I actually know there's people who already skipped to this part of the video just to only watch this. It's been so good. So I'm going with 3 underdogs again, big surprise. But that's how it stacked up for Tuesday's card tonight. Starting off, the Toronto Tempo plus 10.5 hosting Indiana Fever. This is an ESPN game. The Fever, a little overvalued in this one. Toronto is 4-2 against the spread in their last 6 as a dog of 9.5 or more. They have cash tickets for me on the show before, and I see them getting the money here again. They're also in the front end of a back-to-back, and I think they'll have a little more focus on this game tonight since it's nationally televised and it's against Indiana. So going with the Tempo plus 10.5. Second game, Chicago Sky plus 4.5, hosting the New York Liberty. The Sky, sleepy team here, went 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 as a home dog. They've been bringing it at home lately. They had a 5-game homestand a while ago, did pretty well there. The New York Liberty 0-10 against the spread as a road favorite, their last 10. That's really showing that the Liberty away from home tend to play down to their opponent's level a little bit. And I think Chicago steals the cover again here, plus 4.5. Finally, the marquee game of the night, the Atlanta Dream visiting the Las Vegas Aces. The Dream taking them at plus 3.5. Atlanta's usually never an underdog. I think only a couple of games this whole season they were an underdog. So it's a good value here, a nice spot. It's a big game. And Vegas 1-4 against the spread as a home favorite of 3.5 or less their last 5. The Dream will get the money there. So 3 picks again, Toronto plus 10.5, Chicago plus 4.5, and that's Atlanta plus 3.5. Triple dog penetration.
Oh, thank you. Reload. Sammy, let me jump over to you. Let's get some previews. We have the NFC and AFC North coming up, boys. Let's talk some NFC North. Where do you see this shaking up?
Yeah, this division is definitely one of the wide open divisions in the league. It all depends on how you favor Detroit versus Green Bay versus the Bears. I really think the Vikings are over projected based off their roster and stuff like that. I mean, they're projected for 8.5 wins. I love the under on that. I'm not a fan of Kyler Murray or JJ McCarthy, which really devalues Justin Jefferson. Obviously, he's a top 5 wide receiver, but if you don't have a quarterback that can get you the ball, then you can't get the ball. Or when you're just such a stud superstar and you don't really have a number 2 wide receiver, well, then they're always going to get double teamed. Now, a guy like Justin Jefferson, he's always going to find a way to get the ball. But, outside of that, I just don't love their offense. Detroit definitely has the best offense in that division. They're the rightful favorites in that division, 10.5 wins, 9-1 to win the NFC, 21 to win on the Super Bowl. They're about plus 150 to win that division. Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams, Sam Laporta. They got a great offense. All those guys are great for fantasy as well. So no reason, obviously, injury is the biggest asterisk of all. But if they stay healthy, they're the rightful favorite over there. When it comes to the Bears, again, it's just how much do you love or hate Caleb Williams? I definitely think they overexceeded their expectations. So I think they're projected for 9.5 wins, 12-1 that win the NFC. They're the second choice, real tight with Green Bay, plus 275. Green Bay sitting at plus 300. I just don't think that they have great wide receivers. Adunze, Luther Burden, Colston Loveland. Those are guys that aren't big name guys that, you could take a gamble, or is one of those guys going to step up to be a top 10, top 15 receiver. But outside of that, they're just a couple of, their depth chart of wide receivers, but nothing that's super sexy on that team. Green Bay, they're sitting at 9.5 wins as well. 11-1 to win the NFC, again, just behind the Bears as far as the division favorite. The Lions, of course, it's easy to go with the favorite, and Sammy Chalk, of course, I like the favorite. If you're going to try and beat the favorite, I would say go with Green Bay, but for me, I'm going to go with the favorite, shockingly enough. But the favorite is plus money, so I'm not taking a minus 250 or minus 150 favorite. Right. The favorite at plus 155 is still some good value, so give me Detroit over there.
All righty, Sammy, thank you. Reload over to you, NFC North. Are you leaning the Lions as well, or are you looking somewhere else?
Well, I'll tell you, I spent a lot of time trying to figure out the NFC North. Like Sammy was saying, it's really a 3-way dance between the Packers, Bears, and Lions. I do agree the Vikings are kind of the fourth one out there. I think they're going to be a couple of games behind the others. Could see them getting a spoiler win here and there, maybe late in the season. But it's going to be between those top 3. I am going to go with the Packers, though, to edge the Lions out. I do think it's going to be close between those 3 teams, but I think the Packers will either win on a tiebreaker or be like one game better than the other 2 at the end. And I'll tell you why, because it really comes down to a lot of the scheduling with the Packers. First off, in the final week of the season, the Packers get to host the Lions in Green Bay. And I could picture NBC moving that game to like Sunday night, something like that. So it'll be a big game. Probably will decide the division. And I think Green Bay wins that one. They also get 4 of their last 5 games at home. And this is Green Bay in December, January. So we know what that's like. That's quite a big advantage there. The only road game in that stretch is a Christmas Day game in Chicago. That's a pretty short trip there. The other thing is the Lions have some negative trends in their schedule. They have to end the season with that game. Not only in Green Bay, they also have to go to Chicago the week before that. So that's 2 divisional games to end the season on the road. They also have a tough stretch in the middle of the season. Well, maybe 2/3 toward the end. In mid-November, they have the Germany game against the Patriots. They got to go over to Germany for November 15th. Then they have 2 games right after that. There's no bye week. They have to play the Bucs at home. And then they have a Thursday game on Thanksgiving with the Bears. So I could see them maybe even going 0-3 in that stretch of games. And that slide can be tough to recover from, even with a few easier games after that. I think they're going to slide there. They'll try to make that last run at the end, but they're going to fall short to the Packers. So the Packers are getting plus 225 odds to win the division. I think it should be much less than that. A nice play there if you're going to bet divisions. The season win totals, though, probably right around the money. Packers are 9.5. I think they'll probably finish with 10 to cash the over, maybe by a hair there.
All righty, Reload. Thank you. Sammy, let me jump over to you. Let's switch gears from the NFC and talk about the AFC North. Who do you see taking this down?
Yeah, this division's slightly easier. It's most likely a two-team battle, and it really depends on the health of the quarterbacks. First off, Cleveland. Obviously, they're the worst team in that division. I really hope Shador starts. Obviously, I have a many-year history of fuck Deshaun Watson. You never really wish negative upon people. You don't wish for people to be injured. I hope that guy gets hit by a bus. I hope he is in gruesome pain, for obvious reasons. I hope the guy's interrogated, take off all of his toenails one at a time, and fuck that guy. I hope he never plays again. But Shador Sanders, there's some hope in Cleveland. I was in Cleveland last year when he started for the first time. It was a pretty exciting atmosphere. They did lose to Baltimore, but there's a lot of hope there. The fans don't want Deshaun. They want Shador. Let's see what happens there. The Steelers with Aaron Rodgers, they're just average, and that's they're not going to be next level. They didn't do anything sexy in the offseason. Right. Jalen Warren, Rico Dowdle, okay, good 1-2 punch at running back. DK Metcalf, they picked up Michael Pittman from Indianapolis. Okay, decent wide receivers, but Rodgers is like 42 years old. He's not mobile. He's just average. He's not bad, but he's not great anymore. And with Baltimore and Cincinnati in there, it's going to be tough. Now, when it comes to Cincinnati, it really comes down to Joe Burrow. I mean, he's in year number 7. I think he's only played 1 or 2 full seasons, and if he's not healthy, that team stinks. Their defense obviously is flawed. They're going to give up some points, but if their offense stays healthy, they're going to be one of the top 3, offenses in the league. Jamar Chase, they signed T. Higgins. That 1-2 combination is one of the best in the leagues. And Joe Burrow is, one of the top quarterbacks in the league. However, it just depends on if he stays healthy, and that offensive line is weak for sure. But then when it comes to Baltimore, again, it comes down to Lamar Jackson staying healthy, a top 5, top 10 MVP candidate, one of the top 3 quarterbacks that really has the mobile ability and the, quarterback ability, Josh Allen be one of the other guys. But Derrick Henry, Mark Andrews, Zay Flowers, 6-1 to win the AFC, 12-1 to win the Super Bowl, 10.5 wins for both Baltimore and for the Bengals. The Ravens, they're even money to win the division. Bengals are plus 150. If you just take it off the backup quarterback, you got to favor Baltimore. But if Bengals stay healthy throughout the year, if they get a little tweak on the offensive line, maybe just get one more guy to protect them. Chase Brown back in the running back. They have all the weapons. It's just, can they put it all together? I mean, the Bengals were in the Super Bowl 4 or 5 years ago. Baltimore hasn't been to the Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson. So the high expectations for both teams every single year. Who's going to step up? That's going to be the big question. For me, give me the Bengals plus 150.
All righty, Sammy. Thank you. And everybody, good luck on all your
reload on the AFC.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Thank you. Reload. AFC, what do you got, buddy?
Yeah, the AFC North. I'm agreeing with Sammy there. We know the Browns and the Steelers, I think, will be way out of it, especially the Browns. They'll have a few, once in a while they'll win a home game, something like that. But I don't see them doing much at all. Probably only about 4 wins for the year. The Steelers, I don't see being much better. I think that they're giving them too much credit with an 8.5 season win total. I think it might just barely be that. So that leaves you with the Ravens and Bengals. And like Sammy said, yeah, the Bengals, if they stay 100% healthy, they have a chance. But even if they stay 100% healthy, I can't see them stacking up to the Ravens. I think they'll finish a couple of games behind. I went through the Ravens schedule. I could see them, coming away with 11 wins. The season total is like 11.5, but I definitely see them getting a couple of more wins than the Bengals. And at minus, right now the odds are minus 112 to win the division. I think that's a steal for the Ravens. You're basically getting that as a pick 'em. That's giving too much respect to the Bengals and maybe a little respect to the Steelers. I would take the Ravens to win the division. I think that's a nice price.
All righty, Reload. Thank you. We appreciate it. Boys, good luck on all your upcoming action this week. Remember, poker this coming Sunday, poker's second event. So if you haven't already played, make sure you join. I'm making a threat later on today, and with poker coming up week number 2. But once again, guys, have a great week. Good luck on all your action, and we will see you on the forum.